In a Minecraft movie, Jack Black plays Steve, a sad sack doorknob salesman from Chugless, Idaho, who once dreamed of being a miner, as all kids do. One day, a glowing orb zaps him into the blocky world of Minecraft where he's free to dig and build to his heart's content, until an evil pig overlord named Malgosha, voiced by Rachel Howes, threatens to unleash destruction across dimensions. Back in the real world, orphan siblings Natalie, played by Emma Myers, and Henry, played by Sebastian Hansen, move to Chugless and get pulled into the action. Also along for the ride are Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison. Jason Momoa plays him. He's a washed-up 1980s video game champ. Also along for the ride is Dawn, played by Danielle Brooks from Peacemaker, a nature-loving real estate agent, and Jennifer Coolidge is in this as a completely unhinged school principal who apparently hits lots of people with her Jeep Cherokee, and she has no storyline really in this. Together, this crew must stop Malgosha from ruining everything, including our patients. Let's just get this out of the way. A Minecraft movie is not a good film. It's not even a bad but interesting film. It's a chaotic, noisy, half-written brand exercise with enough meme-worthy gags and Jack Black energy to fool people into thinking something entertaining is happening. It's not, and kids deserve way better than this. I actually saw this movie opening weekend on Saturday at the IMAX in Lincoln Square, the world's biggest IMAX, or at least the biggest in the United States. And the crowd was amazing. I loved being able to see this movie with a big crowd. People were cheering and clapping. When Jack Black goes, "I am Steve," everyone just clapped, and the woman behind me, she was with her kids, turned to her kids and she was like, "Who's Steve?" And then of course they're kids, so they start shouting like, "He's from the game." And then she's like, "Be quiet, be quiet." But honestly, this movie is just such a surreal experience, and seeing it like that was surreal because it's a terrible movie. It's almost so bad it's good because it's an event movie and because Minecraft is such a fun game. I've played it since it came out in 2011. I've been a huge fan of Minecraft, but this just does not work as a movie. It's a terrible movie adaptation. The movie borrows the exact same structure as Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, but somehow manages to make it feel even more hollow. You've got your real-world intro, your fish-out-of-water video game adventure, and your band of heroes with their RPG-style quirks. But while Jumanji was dumb fun with at least semi-coherent arcs, Minecraft is just clutter. And that's saying something, that I thought Jumanji actually had decent character work done. This is terrible. There are way too many characters here, and most of them just don't need to exist. Poor Danielle Brooks. Her character, a real estate agent named Dawn who loves animals, is totally pointless. She has no backstory, no motivation, and could have been cut without a single thing changing in this movie. Really, the same thing goes for Natalie and Henry. Their tragic orphan backstory is supposed to add heart, but their emotional arc is paper thin and riddled with lazy conflict. Henry's a genius kid, and that trope feels like something from a Disney Channel reject bin. And Natalie, I don't even know why she's here. Apparently they moved to Chugless because she got a job as a social media manager at a potato chip factory. Frustratingly, this never even factors into the story in a meaningful way, or one that continues the themes into the Minecraft world. Henry being this kid genius and the girl being this social media manager at a potato chip factory doesn't really factor into the plot at all. It's completely irrelevant and does nothing for the story. Even Jennifer Coolidge, who should be a slam dunk in a movie like this, feels like she wandered in from a different shoot. It's funny for 5 seconds that she hits a villager from Minecraft and goes on a date with him, and that's just forgotten. There's zero effort to integrate it into the story. There are small moments of scattered comedy that kind of remind me of, the works of Jared Hess. Jared Hess directed this movie. It's obviously a very bland, anonymous-looking film, but the moments in the real world, especially with the gym/art teacher, the stuff at the school is so weird and funny. It did remind me of Napoleon Dynamite, Jared Hess's film, and I did like stuff like that. But the movie just doesn't have time for that. It has to go into Minecraft and naming references and all that. The only character who actually feels like he belongs in this film is Jack Black. His take on Steve is over the top in a great way for this movie. He's cranked up to a level that makes his role in School of Rock look restrained. He's funny, weird, and he's clearly having a blast, but even he gets lost in the noise once the movie hits the overworld and becomes a blur of jokes, explosions, and Minecrafty set pieces that have nothing to do with what makes this game special. And that's the biggest shame. Minecraft, the actual game, is about freedom, creativity, building your own world. This movie has none of that. The world building is flat, the lore is non-existent, and there's no sense of imagination behind the superficial, blocky aesthetic. Instead of making a Minecraft stories, the filmmakers made every other kids movie mashed into Minecraft skins. I actually took my little cousin to this movie, and we were talking about the film after, and he was telling me, because I was like, what did you think of The Wild Robot compared to this? And he was saying, oh, The Wild Robot was like a real story. I like that. And then he said, Minecraft is just fun. And I couldn't agree more. Like, yes, to a kid, this might be fun. But then when we were talking about the movie, and I said, like, what was your favorite part? He was just like, I kind of forgot about it. Like, it's just not a real movie. It's not a real story. This is just a bunch of fun moments stitched together to make kids laugh. The scene where Danielle Brooks' character comes through the portal and, like, kicks Jason Momoa in the face, every kid in the theater was laughing. It's silly comedy, but it's stitched together with all these stupid moments that don't really work. Like, the whole goal is they have to get to this mountain lodge or something, and none of it feels like a real stake. It's not like the kids have an investment there. Like, they want to get home, yes. Jason Momoa just wants diamonds because he's poor. The real estate broker, I don't even know what her motive is. And Jack Black is just the fun character who's, like, part of this world. He apparently wants to get his dog back, but there's no, like, real connection where I felt like he's missing his dog, or, you know, they show the dog alone. None of these motives or stakes, and, like, the reason they have to get to this finish line at this mountain, like, castle or lodge or whatever, feels like it matters. It really just feels like it's stitched together, and there's no emotional through line with any of the characters. Sure, people in the theater laughed and clapped, but not because the story was good, because it had meme energy, because it was loud, because Jack Black screamed. It's fine in small doses, but it doesn't make for a satisfying movie. It's the cinematic equivalent of giving kids sugar instead of dinner. Jason Momoa, for all his aggro charisma, doesn't really have much to do besides yell and headband and act like a washed-up gamer. You could have easily trimmed this cast down just to Steve and the two kids, maybe Momoa, and given us something leaner, funnier, and more focused, with more of a dialed-in emotional core. Instead, the movie spends so much time juggling characters that none of them get developed, and the actual Minecraft part becomes background noise. In the end, the Minecraft movie feels like it was designed by a committee, then polished up with bright colors and a Mark Mothersbaugh score to trick us into thinking it had personality, but strip all that away, and what you have is a soulless commercial that doesn't understand what makes Minecraft special, or what makes a good kids movie, period. I was recently thinking about the Dungeons & Dragons movie, which, you know, I saw that without really even being a big Dungeons & Dragons fan, but to me that movie knew how to adapt a video game and also create a story that could be universal to everyone who was watching it. It had emotion, it had really great characters, it was a movie you could watch without having played the games, and it still had plenty of fun references, and it just told an emotional, great story that was good for kids, good for adults. It just was fun, very safe. But I think that that's what the Minecraft movie was missing. It never feels like a coherent movie that sticks to one genre. It feels like a bunch of ideas that are kind of crammed together and never feel like a story. And a movie needs to feel like a great story in order to be remembered. But overall, I just thought it was fun, a brainless time, but the movie's not a great film by any means, but definitely one that will be remembered and honestly could be screened like it's so bad it's good screening, so it has that going for it.